Illinois, Bulger Park for the opening day of the Veterans Park District men's 16-inch softball league. Of course, the SSA, a lot of input. Pat Caputo and Israel Sanchez usually do and help Joseph Pico with a lot of the administrative work prior to the league starting, and then they always step out. What you're about to see tonight is 16-inch style softball outdoors here at Bulger Park. We run a lot of events here during the course of the year, so you'll get very familiar with this particular park. 2 diamonds, no fence, 60-foot bases. You can lead off, but you can't steal. 38 feet from the rubber to the point of home plate. 6-12 on the arc. We're playing open count. Pitcher gets what we call a drag step because we're playing no glove, and like I said, no gloves. And that is 1 step right, left, or back. Pitcher also gets 2 fakes or hesitation. Third arm action must be to deliver the ball home. Throw or a fake toward a base is considered one of your fakes or hesitation. 6-12 on the arc. We swing heavy bats. They can weigh up to 38 ounces. And they can be 34 inches long, 2 1/4 on the barrel. No fence. So it's all you can get in the outfield. Grass looks pretty short. Got some foul territory, as you can see. They got a fence, and there will be a game. We're going to be at third base here to start off this first game because of the sun wreaks havoc with the camera if we were on the first base side. Second game of this doubleheader that we're going to show you will be Hexx and Iron, and again, they only play 2 games out here. So inevitably somebody gets shown twice, and since both games are going to be on this diamond, we're going to show you Hexx and then they're going to play Iron. It is kind of a cool day. It's about 64 degrees. You can see the flag up there blowing, which basically means it's coming straight in from right field. So those are the conditions. So we got Hexx and Flashback, and we did show you some flash line action. Looks like Flash has got a lot of their main guys here. I do not see Justin Simkowski here tonight, but they got a pretty good lineup here. So most of these guys were on the team last year when they repeated at Forest Park in the no glove. New face of note is, of course, PJ Raines. PJ going to be out in center field today, so he's out here. So Flashback is one of the big major teams, and the nice thing about Flashback, very stable franchise. They don't tend to lose too many people from year to year, and they usually, when they tweak the roster, it's just around the outside edges. So we're going to be underway here. Leading off is going to be Curtis Ostrom, Nick Casano, and then Al Rice. Anybody gets on, Mike Greco, Rob Scahill. So
stir the drink, Kurt.
Hexx had a pretty good dome season. We talked about them. They did a soft merge, if you will, with Sauce, and they picked up some new faces, and I thought that they kind of came out of the gate and did pretty well, I thought, for having a lot of new faces, and some of the longtime Hexx guys pretty happy about the fact that they felt like they were going to have more bodies, and they were going to also have a little better attendance this year. So here's Curtis, and he goes opposite field, and Shane Lawler can't put the grip on it. And you don't see that too often. I think Curtis may have caught Shane not necessarily expecting that. You don't see Curtis really try to go directly down the almost what was the right field line there, and he hit a line drive, and that ball, I think, may have caught Shane a little off guard. So here's Nick Casanos. So we're going to... And Nick goes opposite way, and that ball's going to hang up in the air. Julian Gutierrez makes the running catch. Jimmy. Thanks.
I'm drifting.
Yeah, I know. You're chewing and drifting and
Okay, what on?
chewing seeds, that is. So here's Al Rice. And that second floor domicile, we're getting a little sunshine right into our camera. So just a little kind of weird thing going on there. So here's Al Rice.
Attaboy!
Of course, Flashback had a terrific year last year as they won 2 tournaments, finished second in 2 tournaments, and I believe they had a 3rd place finish in the 5th tournament. And they were just a couple outs away from beating Rismondo in the if game until Rismondo came back in the bottom of the 6th, ground ball to Meyer, and they get to play at first. Again, Curtis Ostrom very quick, hustling, and he beat any opportunity for the fielder's choice there. Here's Mike Greco. Of course, Mike Marasovic, he did play for Mudville. Moji, one of the best pitchers. He's got a terrific knuckleball. Him and Gibbs probably 2 of the best. John Ryan in that category as well. And guys love playing behind Moji because he works quick. And he gets it and he throws it basically. And as a fielder, you appreciate that. He keeps you on their toes. And I think part of the... And here's Mike towering fly ball. And Gutierrez. But coming in is P.J. Raines. Gutierrez over there, a couple of fly balls. He took some bad routes. Again, the wind is blowing in from right. And at the top of the trees, even though the trees aren't full leaf-wise, it is blowing up there. So you could see there that ball. Lima! Lima!
I already got you.
No, you did not. Stop it. Inside gag, folks. Anyways, so they don't score, and we'll go to the bottom of the 1st here. So here comes Flashback. It'll be Brian Kearns, P.J. Raines, and Julian Gutierrez. Anybody gets on, Mike Manzella. And I'm a big believer. They picked Brian up a couple years ago, and we've got a rule with the SSA that if you don't fill your 20-man roster, because the rosters hold 20. So let's say you got 18 and you got 2 open slots. You can fill those at any time with a player who is not on an SSA roster. So it's a free move. Otherwise, if you fill those up, you got to wait till the add drop period in August. And one year they had an open couple of slots, and their one outfielder they had either got hurt or he got transferred out of town, one or the other. But they ended up grabbing this kid who wasn't on a roster, and I believe he saved their season a couple years ago when they won the No Glove. And there's a little ground ball, nicely done there by Nick Kimmer. So Nick Kimmer, we saw him in the Dome playing a little shortstop. Through his career, we've seen him play third base and up the middle. Very versatile defender. And they were playing Kearns a little tight there, lefty who can run. And Brian just hit that ball a little too hard. It was a firm one-hopper. And you got to be really fast at this level to beat that out. A lot of these kids, these infielders, all got good hands. A lot of them got absolute hoses. So here's P.J. Raines, new acquisition, his first regular season at bat with Flashback. Nice to see you, Sonny.
All the way back here. Let's go.
Joey Carbs checking in. Of course, they're not as a good-looking a team when Carbs isn't here. And there's a rocket, and he gets it over the top of Mikey Oliver out there. PJ is going to go, and he takes the turn. Might have heard Bob Rush Jr. there, coaching PJ Raines. He wanted him to take the turn and look. And that's something that Flash does really well. A lot of teams, though, coaches will just hold you up at third. And Rory Oakrey, here's Julian Gutierrez now. Relay came into Rory, and he handled it clean. But had he bobbled it, if you take that turn and you look like that and you still have a little bit of momentum, then you can easily crank it up and score. So that's something to keep in mind, you third base coaches. Unless the ball is potentially coming to third, you don't want your guy to just stop. And Gutierrez flips it the other way. And now the ball bounces past center fielder. Gutierrez is chewing up a lot of yardage. And that's going to be a bad hop, opposite field line drive, 2-run homer. So Julian Gutierrez drove it out toward left center field. Donnie Sullivan looked like he was going to be in good position, and the ball just kind of took a hop, and that's not unusual. We had a little rain last night. And there's a hard ground ball. Mike Greco will make the play, and Mike Manzella fires his hat over the screen as he was not happy with his swing there. And that's going to bring up Joey Agardo. Of course, Joey was a longtime Chicago Dynasty guy. Came over here a couple of years ago when that Flash won the first of. And there's a line drive and knocked down by Rory, and Iggy's going to end up at first. Joey ended up being a co-MVP a couple years ago when they won that no glove. Flash going to try to three-peat this year. Last time they three-peated, it was 2010, 11, and 12. Yours truly was managing the team at that time. So Flashback is a little underrated. I am biased because I did spend some time there. And here's Ryan Ross. Little fly ball, and that'll be the third out. But Flashback takes an early lead. We're going to head to the second. 2-0. So Flashback people don't realize it, but they have won several major national championships, and they've won, I think, 5 no gloves as Flashback. And at one point when they were Flash with Jibs Hernandez and was a part of that club, they won one. They've won leagues and tournaments. Their team resume pretty impressive.
Come on, Rob. What do you say now, kid? What do you say now?
So leading off here in the second inning, it's going to be Rob Scahill.
Go, Rob.
Then it'll be Mike and Rich.
Let's go.
So here's Rob. And a lot of that is the way they run their team, Flash. They're, like I said, a very stable franchise. They don't normally have a lot of drama. You don't see their guys fighting with each other or going through a lot of crazy antics.
Hey, let's go, Rob.
Come on, Rob. What do you say, Rob?
Hey, big dog. Base runner. Hey, Rob.
And Rob swings a little ground ball to Meyer, a little bobble. he does recover and he makes the play. So for the next probably 15 or 20 minutes, there are certain parts here of the infield where on a ground ball and thrown across, the first baseman's going to be fighting a little sun. So here's Mikey Oliver.
Come on, 24. Come on, Mike.
Of course, Mike a sauce guy. So is the pitcher, Rory and Donnie, in the lineup. And of course, Nick Casanos came over. And I think Hexx is going to be okay. I think the only thing that they really need to work on. And there's a humpback fair. So he gets it past Stacy. Big turn, but he's going to go back. Stacy got a couple of fingernails on it. Yeah, Luke, I will be out at the Cinco de Mayo. I think that's going to be a fun tournament. I think that those 16 teams, I think that there's quite a few teams that are going to have a shot to win that. So here's Richie Battistoni.
Come on, Richie.
Richie, of course, the manager, runs this squad. And there's a high fly ball, and Julian coming in, but Myers goes back and he made the catch. And Julian got down by his legs. He actually kind of semi-reached around Mike there a little bit just to make sure Mike didn't fall down. Of course, Mike Myers originally started out was an outfielder and a very good one, was a terrific right fielder. Transitioned into the infield, and if you're a young kid and you're at a park, watch Mike play defense. His form on ground balls is picture perfect. The way he sets up, the way he moves, the way he keeps his head down. Yes, I believe it is. I think I said iron at the start, but now that I think about it, I do believe it's. I don't know now. Now you got me thinking. We did post on the Facebook page which games we were doing, and Kimmer hits a soft fly ball. Ryan Ross puts it away, and that'll be out number 3. So we head to the bottom of the second.
Make your adjustments.
So it's going to be Vito Iovino, Anthony Stacy, and Mike Myers here in the bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Flashback.
Take a ball over.
And want to give a shout out to the Fat Kids. Very impressive win last night. They were down 7-0 after 1 inning to High Y. And then they came storming back and ended up winning that game. I think it was like 23-11. And that was after High Y laid it on top of Impact. And Vito hits a high fly ball down the line, and that's going to roll out of play. Vito got way out around it. We did not see Vito play at all in the dome, so this early in the year, you never really know what you're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Larry.
So here's Vito. Now that we're on the reset. And Vito drives it out to left, and Curtis is there. And again, any ball hit from center field to the left field line should be in good shape. The wind is starting to slow down a little bit, which again, par for the course here in the Chicago area. Usually between 4 and maybe 7:30-ish.
Good idea.
As Stacy tried to poke one down the right field line.
Good idea, Anthony.
Yeah, I misspoke there. Yeah, because they're playing Hexx in the second game, I believe, on this diamond.
Yeah, we go down.
So
Come on, Anthony.
we have not seen Meatball City, so it'll be our first look at that squad. And there's a little roller over to Rory, and Rory Oakley makes the play.
Hey, two dead. Come on, boys. Two dead. Here we go.
And here comes Mike Meyer.
Mikey.
Shane Lawler on deck, and then the pitcher, Mike Marasovic, as Flashback. Again, this is
Let's get this.
this league is a little different. They do allow you to hit 12, and Flashback taking advantage of that.
Come on, Mike.
Again, early in the season, trying to get everybody as many at-bats as they can. And there's a little chopper. Nick Casano, long throw in time. So 1-2-3 inning. So we're going to head to the top of the third.
All the way to the top. All the way to the top. Let's go. Let's go, Bottom. Come on, Bottom. Let's go.
Flash still up by that deuce.
Let's go. That's a big zero. Hey, that's a big zero. Hey, big zero. Let's go, boys. The bottom top next time. We got to give it to you here. Let's go. Go. Brian, Rory, Donnie.
So Brian Sloan, Rory Oakley, and Donnie Sullivan coming up here. And fortunately, it is starting to get a little chilly out here. Let me put my hood up, folks. I'll be right back.
Hey, go. Got to get it through here. Come on. We're waiting for it.
I mean, you'd have to.
Come on, Brian, Flo.
Okay, there we go. So it is going to be chilly for that second game, no doubt about it. As the sun's starting to set, and we're going to rotate over to the first base side for that game. Give you a little different view. So here's Brian Sloan now. It's actually pretty nice today, but we're expecting a little bit of a cold front to move in, and they're saying we could get a lot of rain tomorrow and Thursday. So hopefully, the weekend's supposed to be dry, but hopefully we won't get so much rain that it'll affect the fields out here. And there's a sinking liner, PJ Raines. Again, PJ, we saw him playing a little infield in the dome. We know he can play anywhere in the outfield. Very athletic kid.
Come on, Rory. Come on, Rory. Come on, Rory.
I want to say the only player really that Flashback doesn't have here today, I want to say, is Justin Smykowski. Even though he's not playing the field, Joe Piscitelli is here, so pretty much their whole squad out on opening day. So here's Rory Oakley. Oh, yep, good catch. Almost forgot about the Spencer cards. But him and Danny and Justin, last couple of years, they have not made a lot of these Tuesday, Thursday games. Little ground ball to Vito, and plenty have gone there for Vito. And I always laugh because Vito, he's like a rubber band, that kid.
Come on, Donnie.
and he gets a lot of juice on his throws from weird angles. So here's Donnie Sullivan. Yeah, Dispenza and Smykowski don't tend to make a lot of games on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They usually do make the games out at Forest Park. And there's a fly ball, and Ryan Russ calling it all the way, made the catch. So we're in this weird little bit of twilight here where the lights have been on for a while, haven't completely taken effect yet in terms of being in this dusk. Let's see if I can't brighten this up a little bit. So Shane Lawler, Mike Mirosevich, and then the top Brian Kearns.
They got the FaceTime too.
So 2-0 right now. A little bit of a chilly day here in the Chicago area. We are in a western suburb of the city of Chicago, out here at Melrose Park. High concentration of Italians out here.
Oh, Shane.
And Shane hits it in the air toward center fielder, and Donnie Sullivan makes the catch.
Come on.
Shane hit that ball a little too fat, got it up in the air. So we might be catching a break with that wind slowing down, as it is a cool night.
And then the second time he threw, they said, all right.
And Flash does have what you might call a big boy offense. Ground ball to Scahill, and Mike Mirosevich
Go, fish.
easy out at first.
Hey, get the last one. Let's go.
So here's Joe
Come on,
Piscitelli.
Joe.
Okay, I see what they did here. They
Go, fish.
kind of screwed up their lineup card here a little bit. I think Pish might have got here a little late. He wouldn't normally be hitting
Go, fish.
at the bottom of your lineup. And he tries to go opposite, and that's going to drift foul.
Nice night. A little chilly, but still nice.
I know, right? What are you doing, huh?
First night.
Is it? Is it the first night? You're not playing, are you?
I coached him.
Hey, 2 strikes. Up the bat?
Yeah.
Good. Good for you.
Go, fish.
Pish swings, and that's a can of corn.
Boys.
I got a hit. Let's go.
Well, I'm glad you said it, Carbs. I was thinking that. I was thinking it, but I didn't want to say it. So here we go. Top of the fourth. Only 2 runs came in the first inning on a Julian Gutierrez opposite field line drive. Ball took a rough hop, got past the center fielder, ended up being a 2-run homer. So it's the top of the lineup here for Hexx. They have not generated a lot of offense, obviously, with the fact that we are in the top of the fourth, and they only have their 12th hitter coming up.
Come on, Kurt. Come on, Kurt. Come on, you next. Let's go, boys. Wake up over here. Let's go. What do you say now?
So they've had basically two base runners the entire game up to this point. And again, that's the concern if you're Hexx. They have good hitters and good players, but sometimes their offense is a little up and down. And I think that what they have to do is just become a little bit more consistent. And they're going to be okay. And then Kurt tries to go big, and he's going to beat Ryan Russ down the line. That ball's going to roll, and Curtis is going to score a solo home run. So Ryan Russ gets beat as Curtis Ostrom hits a bomb. And we saw this movie in the Dome, although short fences in the Dome where they were trailing, and Curtis took it upon himself to launch in the Dome. And he hit that ball hard and straight as an arrow down the left field line. Here's Nick Casano. So Curtis cuts the lead in half. And Casano's a little ground ball. Joey Agardo. Again, Joey smooth as silk over there. You might have noticed his feet were sliding, but Joey is so quick with the catch and the release. So here comes Al Rice now. The home run is nice. It gets your group fired up, but you got to back that up with a couple of hits here. And, you know, when Curtis first kind of came on the scene with Smackout, and there's a hard ball, and Iggy can't get it. The ball drifts into no man's land, and good hustle by Al Rice. That ball was smoked. You don't see Joey Agardo. He got handcuffed on it. See if we can show it on the replay. Can see that was a hard one-hopper. And Joey pretty much got eaten up by that. No, John Zawoski is not with Flashback this year. So here's Mike Greco now. Tying run at second base with one out. It's Al Rice, man.
Let's go, Hexx! Let's go,
He
Hexx!
really smoked that one hopper. Greco thought about it, but he takes it.
Hey, boy! 21, L, 1 out!
Rob Scahill on deck. And that ball is driven, but right at Raines, and he drops it. Al's going to score. We're all tied up. So Morris Greco smoked it. Looked like P.J. Raines was going to make the catch. He was there. He put his hands up. Just went right through him. And we're all tied up at 2. So again, Curtis Ostrom, leadoff homer. And all of a sudden, Hexx showing a little life here. And there's an opposite field fly ball. Ryan Russ is there. And he puts it away for out number 2.
There's a base here, Mikey. Another big hit here, Mike. Big spot here, taking 2-4.
So new ball game here.
Hey, let's go, Dewey. Hexx, let's go, Hexx.
Mike Oliver singled to third.
Mike, guess what you can here, baby. Let's go.
Meanwhile, Joe Piscitelli has it.
Come on, Mikey.
Replaced Anthony Stacy at third. Stacy's moved over to first. Again, Shane Lawler's still in the game. They're just moving the chess pieces around. So Mikey Oliver now. And he goes high to left, long run, and Ryan Russ with the belly catch. But in the inning, Hexx ties the game up. And we'll head to the bottom of the fourth, halfway through, 2-2. So Mike Oliver with the almost swung out of his shoes there. It's going to be the top of the Flashback order. Brian Kearns, P.J. Raines, and Julian Gutierrez.
Rive came your way last time.
And we were talking about Hexx had not generated a lot of offense, and aside from 2 hitters in the first, Flashback really hasn't had any opportunities either.
That wasn't nice. That's the nicest thing he says to me.
Got me there because normally I'm not quiet.
Yeah. Hey, come on. Come on, BK. Come on, Brian.
So here's Brian Kearns,
Give me a reach, Brian.
leadoff man, and they are playing him tight in the infield again. And this time he goes up the middle. Casanos, a nice play. As he was battling that bag over there. Fast runner battling the bag as Kearns hit it right over the base. And folks, that's a lot tougher play than it looks. But Nick Casano makes it. And that'll bring up PJ Raines. Two here in the 4th inning. Both pitchers doing a good job on a chilly day. And that ball off. Rory can't make the play. Rory did a nice job. One hand in the roller. But PJ Raines, who can scoot,
Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian.
beat it out. And sometimes discretion, the better part of valor. And here's Julian Gutierrez. He's driven in both runs for Flash today. And Julian was swinging it real good. Ended up a tri-MVP in the Rosemont Winter Dome League along with Frank Jekyll and PJ Raines. And Julian stays hot as he rifles a hit. Raines will cruise into third. Julian going to try. He'll get in under the tag. Hustle double for Gutierrez.
Way to get there, kid.
So Julian Gutierrez, this double is made out of the box. Is Julian, and you can see there in the background, Julian was coming all the way.
I don't even know if I don't.
For you younger kids, that's how it's done, man. You know, you don't hit there and admire your handiwork. You get on your horse and you run hard. Because that's a perfect example. They did everything right, but just where he drove that ball, the outfielders had a long run, and he turned it into a double. If they bobble it, he's turning it into a triple. So here's Mike Manzella. One out here, great opportunity for Flashback to reclaim the lead. And Mike was not happy with his swing his last time up here. And that ball just clipped the plate. And Mike Manzella hit a screamer, but right at Casanos. Reached down and made the catch look routine. As Manzella hit a screamer. And that was not an easy catch either, folks. So this is a big spot here in the ball game. You had second and third, one out. Mike Manzella has to make sure he either pulls the ground ball there to score a runner. He's got to make sure he elevates over the infield. So now it's up to Ryan Russ to try to clean this up if you're a Flashback fan.
Slide drive. You're good.
And there's a swing, and he comes through. That'll score 2.
Up.
Joey Agardo ends up, he was courtesy running for Julian. So it only scored 1 there.
2 outs, Joey.
I'm not sure if.
Good running.
Joey, good base running.
So here's Vito.
Come on, V.
So big swing there by Ryan to salvage something, and it brings up Vito. And Vito way out in front. That ball's going to be out of play.
I got you one of my tape cups originally, boy. You weren't catching my heat anyway. I know I was throwing your tape.
So here's Vito. What are you talking about, Russ? You were a soft tossing lefty.
Shut up. Do the report, Gio.
Gio, this one's coming in your hand.
He was a junk ball lefty in college. Don't buy into it. Of course, Bobby Ross went to Lewis. I believe he just got on the Lewis Wall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
I think they did it as a courtesy. His wife was a longtime member of the Lewis Hall of Fame.
Hey, come on, Larry.
Come down.
Junior's been married a lot of years
See you
to
later,
his
Hip.
wife Karen, who was a terrific volleyball player. And Vito hits a fly ball, but Curtis will move back a couple of steps, but Flashback does push.
Got to answer. Let's go hit the ball. Got to answer. Let's go hit the ball.
Well, they got 4 on the board.
Let's go hit it.
I'm not sure if that's the right score. Jimmy, that the right score?
Hey, hey.
Oh, okay, I missed a run there somehow. So it is 4-2. So we're going to head to the top of the 5th.
Even if you think I
I don't know how I missed a run there. Too busy yapping.
It didn't hurt us, but if he's on second, that's another run we could keep from scoring. It didn't hurt us. I'm just saying. I didn't know you guys did.
So here we go as we get to the top of the 5th after Hexx tied Flashback at 2 in the top of the 4th. Flashback came back with 2 to reclaim that lead, and it's going to be Richie Battistoni, Nick Kimmer, and Brian Sloan.
No, that's a good. I mean, I'm deep, but that's even if I'm in.
And Richie swings and hits a fair ball down the line.
No.
So Richie Battistoni leadoff single as he just flipped it down that left field line, nice and polite.
Yeah, come on, Rob.
And kept it fair by a couple of feet down that line. So it brings up Nick Kimmer. Mikey Oliver will go pinch, or excuse me, courtesy ball. As the game is suddenly picking up a little bit in intensity as we get toward the back end of the game.
Turn that shit around, not rain. That was the thing.
And Kimmer, a little chopper to Vito. He tags the runner and safe at first as Anthony Stacy couldn't handle the throw, or it would have been a double play. Nice job by Vito. If you're Mike Oliver there, you got to slow down. You got to make Vito either pitch that ball to second, or you got to make Vito come chase you. Mikey just kind of ran right into the tag there.
Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian.
So here comes Brian Sloan now. And there's a little flip the other way, and it's going to be fouled by about 1.5 feet. Little inside out swing. So for those of you who might be watching on Twitter, disregard this this stream ball. Anytime you see crazy letters and numbers, you know it's a scam. And there's a flip, and Mike Myers one-hands it. Are you kidding me? It's Mike Myers backtracking on the little soft flip shot. Jumped up in the air, and as he was falling down, just grabbed it with one hand.
for sure. That was a good play by Joe.
Da-da-da, da-da-da. So here comes Rory Oakrey. We told you he was a former outfielder, but it looked like that was going to be a hit. And there's a little spinner, and it's going to kick foul. So Brian Sloan looked like he flipped it over the infield, but Mike Myers had other ideas. And for those of you on Facebook, you don't know what I'm talking about, but I see comments from some of our other social media sites. And there's a clown that keeps posting. And Rory goes hard, but right at PJ. This time he secures it. And we're going to head to the bottom of the fifth. Flashback by a deuce. So Rory hit it hard, but right at the center fielder. I think it's 8-6 down on the other diamond. I think that's March and Meatball City. No, it's is it March or is it Iron and Meatball City down there? So as we get back to our game, it's going to be Anthony Stacy, Mike Myers, and Shane Lawler.
Watch yourself, Mike! This doesn't have the same dome air.
I just looked at the rankings. Loyola's in the finals for the NCAA volleyball. They're a 4 or 5 seed.
Yeah, they play Friday night, I think, in Columbus or in Ohio. And there's a rocket. Stacy beats.
Come on, Ed! Come on!
He's going to try it.
Right here.
And he'll be okay as the throw get around. So two of the better defensive outfielders, left fielders in the game have both been beat right down the left field line tonight. You don't see it often. As Anthony Stacy just turned and burned. And earlier in the game, Curtis beat his counterpart out for Flashback. So here's Mike Meyer. Now, nobody out here. So if you're Flash, you kind of are hoping that Mike is going to try to get a hit here. You're not necessarily. And that ball off his feet. Sloan recovers. Nice play by Sloan as he threw that leg out and he knocked it down. Stayed right with it. The ball didn't get far enough for Stacy to go. Nice play. Now it's up to Shane Lawler. And again, if Brian doesn't kick that foot out, that ball's got a chance to be a hit. And Shane can't elevate it. So no run scores again. So after the leadoff triple, now we got a pinch hitter. It's going to be.
Watch your line. Watch your ear. Come on, Pete.
Be set, Brian.
It's going to be Petey Raines. So you didn't mind Myers at bat there, but if you're Shane Lawler, even a ground ball. And there's the veteran coming through the other way. And now they tried to throw behind him and it gets away. He's going to go to third.
Hey, boy.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the rule. Petey Raines, the veteran. Easy game. He just flipped it the other way. Drove in the run. Then they tried to throw all the way to first, but the first baseman wasn't there. The ball rolled out of play. So some of you are saying, well, how did he get to third? And here's Pish, and he hits it fair right over the bag. And here comes Pish. And Pish is going to stop, but he drives in another run. So Pete had already taken the turn at first, already established that. So when the ball was thrown in and went out of play, he gets 2 bases, second and then third.
Fish, he's got a pickoff move, watch him.
So here comes Brian Kearns. For a second, it looked like Flashback wasn't going to get anything this inning, and they ended up finding a way to push 2 across. A little help there by the throwing error. And here's Kearns now, top of the lineup.
2-1, 2 outs. 2 outs, pitch.
And Kearns drills a hit. That's going to score another run. It's Brian Kearns. And I've said this for a couple of years. Brian is notorious for just swinging and hitting the very top of the ball and hitting very slow rollers down the third baseline or pushing it the opposite way and trying to run. But he is a well-built kid, very strong upper body, and he's got a beautiful line drive swing. And I think people don't give him enough credit for that. So here's PJ. And PJ strokes a hit up the middle. Here comes Kearns. He's flying. And that's a little uncharacteristic. Bob Russ, normally a very aggressive third base coach, and they threw it right into the short center there. I think that's more a product of the fact that Julian's got a couple of hits. And I tell you, the way he's been swinging it. You got to be careful here. You almost thinking to yourself, do you really want to pitch to him? Manzella struggled a little bit today. Brian Sloan being very careful to him. And Julian stays hot as he goes oppo again. Rains will cruise in. And Flashback now is pushed 4 across. They lead 8-2. So here's Manzella. Gutierrez 3 for 3 in the contest. And everything off his bat's been a bullet. And Manzella the other way to Kimmer, takes it in the gut, can't get it through to third, not in time, and now Gutierrez is going to score.
Mikey, we run.
So Manzella hit a ground ball, Kimmer a little bobble. It's now a 6-run inning.
2 outs, Mike.
Hexx throwing the ball around here a little bit, not helping their cause. Flashback's opened up an 8-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th. So here's Joey Agardo, and he hits a little fly ball. So a lot of damage. It was 4-2 with a runner on third and 2 outs. And then the inning fell apart. And Flashback found a way to score 6 with 2 outs. So we head to the top of the 6th, 10-2. 8-run lead. And now if you're Hexx, you got to shift your focus a little bit. And you've got to try to cut into this. You got to try to be a little bit closer heading into the 7th. But more importantly, you got to worry a little bit because you're 2 runs away from the mercy rule. In the bottom of the 6th, the Flash was to push a couple more across. So it's going to be bottom than the top. Donnie Sullivan, Kurt Ostrom, and Nick Kimmer.
There you go. Hey! All right, Donnie, start us off, big dog.
And there's a fly ball. Ryan Russ goes back, and he makes the catch.
Come on, Kurt. Come on, Kurt. Let's back up here.
That's right back here. That's right back here. Let's go. That's right back.
So we'll see, but sometimes a late six spot can take the starch out of your sails. Here's Curtis Ostrom. One thing I know about Curtis, he's going to fight you all day, every day. Doesn't matter what the score is. And there's a swing as he tries to go down that line a little softer after he had moved back Ryan Russ from his last at-bat when he hit that bomb down the line. So the other game looks like it might be tied at 8s and it's 6 down there.
Let's go. It's our time. Let's go.
And there's a hard ground ball, base hit. Curtis finds it. Again, down 8 runs. Curtis is going to head back. So Curtis leads off. It brings up Nick Casano.
Let's go, man. Run hard.
One out here. Like I said, Curtis led off.
Not you, Nick. All right.
But Donnie actually did. So, one out.
Hey, let's go, Nick. Come on. Come on, Nick. Come on, Nick. Let it, baby. Slipped.
So Moji's pitched a pretty good ball game today.
Hey, way to work. Way to work.
The inning when he gave up the 2 runs, it was drop fly ball, and there's a bullet base hit. Curtis another big turn. So 2 base runners for Al Rice. So now we're starting to get into Al, Mike Greco, and Rob Scahill, 3 guys with a lot of pop. So Hexx in a good spot here with a couple of base runners to maybe get themselves right back into the ball game here. And Al hammers it down that line. Fair ball. 1 run is in. Casanos takes the turn. Big turn, but it'll come back.
Ball, guys.
So Al Rice pounds it down the line. So this looks like a pinch runner.
It would have been fun if you said
I believe that's Brandon, pinch running.
yeah, but if I don't throw that ball, it's dead.
So Jib's just going to slow it down now with Greco and Scahill, the back-to-back lefties coming up.
I can't even be mad at him. I can't even be mad at him.
A couple of more hits here, and this game can tighten up.
Hey, let's go. You got me. 1 up.
I'm getting too much fresh air.
So here comes Mike Greco. Sorry, Curtis was making a comment in the dugout. He looked at me when he made it, and we both started laughing there. So here's Greco.
Come on, Mikey, Greg. PJ, make a play, PJ. There you go. Not bad. Good eye, Mike.
Watch yourself, Brandon. Heavy.
And he grabs a strike there, and again, if you're Moj here, you
Christ, why'd you not even have a picture ball?
don't want to walk anybody and load them up for Scahill. Greco, hard ground ball, and it gets through Vito. 2 runs are going to score. Flash, who'd been playing pretty well defensively. Little error there. Looked like Myers might have had a play on the ball, and Vito cut in front of him, and the ball didn't quite come up, and now it's 5 and dime here. For Rob Scahill. So again, for the second time in the ball game, with his team losing, Curtis Ostrom got a big hit to get him started. You say all the time, he's the straw that stirs the drink for these guys. And Scahill murders a hit. Greco picks his head up. He's going to score. Scahill, oh, he slammed the brakes on. Looked like he was going to come to third. 10-6 ball game. Now brings up Mikey Oliver. So 4 spot. And they cut it to 4 here. Still only 1 out. With Richie Battistoni on deck. So Moji was cruising along coming into this inning. And he's thrown a few more pitches. And I don't know if that is just Hexx being more patient or if he's not quite as sharp. And there's a line drive base hit. Scahill is going to stay at third. Now you got runners on the corner for Battistoni. Nick Kimmer on deck. So the Hexx guys are like, that's like our 7th straight hit with 2 outs. And Alex said, no, there's 1. He said, that would be pretty cool, except there's only 1 out. And Battistoni tries to go big, and Ryan Russ makes the catch. And he had to flip it in quick to make sure he didn't carry it out of play. Oliver tags. Another run scores. 10-7. Now there's 2 outs for Kimmer. This has been a 5-run inning now on the heels of Flashback's 6-run inning. Base hit here would make it 10-8.
Hey, 2. Hey, 2,
I
got you. Let's score
Flashback
you.
was going to kind of just leak out and have an easy one after all, but Hexx had different ideas.
Sound like it, too.
And Kimmer slashes it right at Iggy. Low throw, but scooped up by Stacy. But in the inning, 5 runs. Hexx crawls right back into it, 10-7. And they're going to re-enter some of their guys now. So nice answer there after getting hit with a 6. They come back with a 5. And if you're Hexx right now, your job is to keep it here and head to the 7th. And it'll be the bottom third of the lineup if you're a Hexx follower. Brian Sloan, Rory, and Donnie.
All right, hey, you drop 8 now. Go, you and Larry.
Nick.
So Ryan Russ going to lead off. Then it'll be Vito Iovino and Anthony Stacy.
Boy, Brian, set those feet, big. Set those feet.
Hey, when you get ahead, stay ahead. Good boy.
Meanwhile, it looks like it's 10-10 in the 7th on the other dime. A couple of good ball games tonight.
Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian.
Hey, here goes 3-2. Here we go. Come on, Ham.
So I'm always curious how. And Ryan Russ, a little roller. Nick Casanos, a fumble. It's all Ryan needed. He can scoot. I'm always curious how very early in the league season the attendance normally isn't bad and everybody's fired up to be out. And a month from now, sometimes the attitude changes and nobody cares. But these games are important because as we head toward the end of this month, the Westchester Tournament of Champions is creeping up fast. As a matter of fact, we're going to be doing the draw for that tournament May 10th over at Gulliver's at 12:30. And Vito swings, high fly ball, it carries a little bit, but Curtis stays right with it. Easy tag for Ryan Russ as he goes to third. So managers, we know in the letter it said 4 o'clock on the 10th. We had to move it up. Gulliver's had a big party that they booked. So we moved it up to 12:30. So please be on time. That's going to go quick. And your rosters are due on or before that date. And there's a little flip. And Brian Russ
If he catches, it's on me.
telling his son he wanted him to score on that little flare hit by Stacy. And he just told Ryan, that's on me because I was telling you to go. Brings up Mike Myers. Flash looking for a little insurance. Again, with one out now, things are a little different. Ideally, you'd want to get one in, get one over if you could. You want to stay out of a double play, obviously, but you certainly need to pick this run up. Shane Lawler on deck. And Mike is going to get the job done. He made sure he elevated, and Vito tags and moves up. So nice job of hitting as Mike Myers did his job. Got one in, got one over as he hit a deep fly ball to left field toward the line. Curtis on the move. And Vito runs pretty good. And here comes Shane Lawler now. So with 4 run, there's a little flare. Rory will handle it. Do or die 7th coming up here. Flashback leading by 4. Hexx needs 4 to tie, 5 to take a lead. Anything less, and Flashback will start out this Veterans Park District Men's 16-inch Softball League 1-0. Again, this is a terrific league, top to bottom out here. They only got 12 teams, and if they don't get any rain, this league is going to end very early. And then they do have a tournament at the end of the regular season. If I'm not mistaken, they play with the mitts out here just to get guys a few games. But they could be done by the time the no glove rolls around. So Brian Sloan going to lead off here. And Brian pushes a hit into center. Leadoff man on. That's why that 4th run was important. Hexx needs a grand slam now to tie. And it brings up Rory Okray with Donnie Sullivan on deck, but looks like Eric Nagzilla has grabbed a bat, and he's going to swing for Donnie Sullivan, it looks like. And Rory, a little ground ball right to Vito, steps on it, and Stacy can't make the play. And Vito had all kinds of time there. Throw was up the home plate side of the bag, and Anthony had a stretch for it. And Vito's got such a strong arm there, he had all kinds of time. And he really tried to juice it. Might have been a little bit of a screwball over there. And in this kind of cold weather, this early in the season, that's tough on a first baseman. Okay, I didn't know they were doing 2 tournaments. Thanks, Matt. Of course, Matty, running the money line team, weather permitting, will probably going to show you a money line game on Wednesday out here.
Not you, not you.
Come on, E. Come on, Eric. Come on, Eric.
So here's Eric now with 1 out, top looming, and he reached for it, little fly ball. And it looks like that game is over down there. So I'm not sure who won. It says 10-10, so whoever the home team was won down there. Down to their last out, and it's Curtis Ostrom.
Let's go, Kurt. Stay high here. 3.
So Curtis Ostrom gonna try to keep the ball game alive here.
Maybe 3.
Good ears.
No. Mike!
Blake? No, strike. 1-1.
1-1 count. So Moji dropped 2 pitches right in the well, almost identical spots.
Need you here, Kurt. Need you here.
Way ahead in the count now, 1-2. See if Moji tries to throw that firm knuckleball that he has. No, he threw the floater. Got him to reach a little flare. That's in no man's land, and it drops.
All right, Kurt.
So he threw him the knuckleball. Curtis kind of reached out. Just got a little enough of the barrel on it. And he floated it into short left center field for a blue pit. Here's Nick Casano. Base hit here would put the tying run in the box in the form of Al Rice. So Moji, good job with the fake there. He got Nick to kind of walk himself out of that swing. And Nick slashes one right to Meyer, and that'll do it. So Flash holds on. They win 11-7. So we're going to click off, folks. We will start a new stream in the next ball game. So come on back. We got another